Hola chicos, bienvenidos a Español 2 a la clase número 18. Hoy es el 23 o el 24 de septiembre. Los objetivos para la clase de hoy, we're going to be looking at this question, ¿cómo se ve? How does he look or how does she look? To do that, we are going to be looking at some autorretratos. Auto means self. Retrato is a picture, so a self-portraits of some famous artistas latinoamericanos y españoles. We're going to dig a little bit into language and listen to some audio, do some pronunciation practice with la letra Z, and talk a little bit about nonverbal language, that language that you communicate with your hands or sometimes your facial expressions. And then to finish out today, we are going to be working with the demonstrative adjectives. You may be wondering what those are. Don't worry, by the end of today, you will know. This is this and these, that and those. So we'll do a little bit of practice of when to use those and what those words are en español. Bien, vamos a comenzar. I would like you to have out a notebook piece of paper. And as we are going through the work, any slide that you see a picture of this notebook paper, that means I would like you to be writing it down. At the end of class, I will ask you to upload your copy of your work and I will give you some credit for taking notes today. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with a quote. This is a self-portrait actually of the artista named Frida Kahlo. Era de Mexico. And one of the quotes that she was famous for saying was, Nunca pinto sueños o pesadillas. Pinto mi propia realidad. Nunca means never. I never paint dreams or nightmares. Sueños o pesadillas. Pinto mi propia realidad. She paints her own reality. So if you ever spend some time looking up some different pinturas de Frida Kahlo, you will see what she means by that and how her own reality actually involved lots of different ways that she felt and things that she saw. So let's take a look at some autorretratos. As we look at them, we want to be making some comments about what the person is wearing. Él lleva or ella lleva. And we want to describe how they look. Maybe the person looks serious, se ve serio. Maybe their facial expression tells you they look bored, se ve aburrido, se ve contento, se ve triste, se ve cansado, se ve inspirado, inspired, se ve creativo, se ve, he looks or she looks. Lastly, we're going to be commenting on what we think about this person. Pienso que él, pienso que ella es un buen artista. Pienso que él o ella es una persona interesante. Pienso que él tiene arte único. Único is unique. Unique or different. Pienso que él vivió una vida difícil. Maybe when we look at a self-portrait, it seems like this person had a rough life. Pienso que él tiene ropa bonita. So we're going to use some of these sentences to write sentences about the different autorretratos. Ok, primero empezamos con un autorretrato de Pablo Picasso. Él lleva una camisa blanca, un traje gris. Para mí, él se ve triste o se ve confundido, confused. I might say, pienso que él es una persona interesante. To me, when I see this picture, I see that he has a unique style and maybe he was an interesting person. Let's take a look at another one. This is one of the autorretratos from Frida Kahlo. The same artist that was on our front page. This is a completely different look for Frida Kahlo. Ella lleva un traje negro, lleva una camisa roja, se ve seria. Pienso que ella es una artista buena. Let's look at another one. This is un señor de España que se llama Diego Velázquez. Think about how you would describe this painting. Él lleva, we could maybe call this una chaqueta negra. Se ve serio, triste, aburrido, contento. Pienso que él vivió una vida difícil. Perhaps it looks like he's wearing warrior gear, so maybe he had a difficult life. Maybe he had to participate in a war. Aquí hay un autorretrato de otro español que se llama Joan Miró. Joan Miró. Él lleva un sombrero, él lleva un traje, él lleva una camisa. We didn't learn the word for tie, but it's corbata. Para mí, yo noto las manos. Se ve triste, se ve pobre. Pienso que él es un hombre solo. Maybe he's a lonely man. However you interpret the dibujo, the pintura. Let's look at a few more. Aquí tenemos Fernando Botero. Fernando Botero lleva jeans, zapatos y una camisa amarilla. Se ve grande, se ve gordo, ¿sí? He's known in his paintings to paint people that are very bulky. Pienso que él pinta algo. He's painting something. Aquí tenemos un español famoso que se llama El Greco. Él lleva una camisa blanca, un traje negro. Se ve muy serio. Lleva armas. Pienso que él es un militar. Es un militar. Aquí tenemos una chica de Puerto Rico que se llama Julia Rivera. Puerto Rico, know that you should know that is part of the United States, but is also kind of considered a separate part. So often in Puerto Rico, we can see this confusión of si es parte de los Estados Unidos o no. Ella se ve seria, se ve un poco triste. Pienso que es arte muy creativo, muy creativo. Okay, so if we look at all of these, I want you to, en your papel, vamos a escribir información. I've given you 4 questions. So the first one is, ¿cuál autorretrato te gusta más? You're going to write out the complete sentence that I wrote for you in pink. Me gusta más el autorretrato de, give me the name of the artist. And número 2, I would like you to tell me por qué. Me gusta porque es, or me gusta porque tiene. Go ahead and write a complete sentence. Número 3, ¿cuál autorretrato piensas que es más diferente o único? Unique. Pienso que el autorretrato de es más diferente. And ¿a quién quieres conocer? If you could meet one of these artists, remember these are self-portraits. If you could meet one of these artists and talk to them, ¿a quién? Who would you like to meet? ¿A quién quieres conocer? Quiero conocer a. And go ahead and finish that sentence. If you need some more time to write your 4 answers, go ahead and press pause on this page. Ok, vamos a continuar. Vamos a imaginar tu autorretrato. So we have a blank frame here, and what's missing inside of that frame is tu autorretrato, your own self-portrait. Self-portrait means it has to be drawn by you. I want you to think about ¿qué ropa llevas? Your clothing should represent something about you. So are you somebody who most often wears elegant clothes? Or are you t-shirt and shorts kind of a person? ¿Qué objeto favorito está contigo en el autorretrato? So usually, perhaps in a self-portrait, you could have something that's really important to you. If you love your dog, maybe your dog would be with you in your autorretrato. If you play golf, maybe that would be in there. If you like to watch a certain kind of TV show, maybe that could be on in the background. ¿Qué emoción muestras? Are you somebody who smiles all the time? Perhaps you'd be smiling in your self-portrait. Maybe triste, maybe you're more serious or sad when somebody looks at you, takes a picture. And then how about the colores? If we go back and look at some of these, we notice that some of them are much more muted colors and some have more bright colors. ¿Qué colores hay en el autorretrato? I don't want you to write out answers to these questions. Instead, I would like you to draw on half the page or part of the page a small autorretrato. This is your own self-portrait, keeping those questions in mind. Go ahead and press pause and come back when you are finished drawing your autorretrato. Okay, we're going to take a minute and we are going to look at the letra Z. Okay, so as we look at these words, I want you to listen to the audio that I'm going to play for you, and I want you to follow along, and I want you to pronounce the words when they ask you to, thinking especially about the letra Z.
In most Spanish-speaking countries, the letter Z sounds like the S in C. Listen to and say these words. You will hear each word twice. After the word is pronounced the first time, there will be a pause so you can pronounce it. Then you will hear the word a second time.
Zapato. Zapato.
Izquierda. Izquierda.
Zanahoria. Zanahoria.
Arroz. Arroz.
As. As.
Azul. Azul.
Almuerzo. Almuerzo.
Razón. Razón.
Quizás. Quizás.
Cabeza. Cabeza.
Nariz. Nariz.
Perezoso. Perezoso.
In many parts of Spain, however, the letter Z is pronounced something like the TH in think. Listen to the words as a Spaniard says them and practice saying them as if you were in Spain.
Zapato. Zapato. Izquierda. Izquierda. Zanahoria. Zanahoria. Arroz. Arroz. Haz. Haz. Azul. Azul. Almuerzo. Almuerzo. razón, razón, quizás, quizás, cabeza, cabeza, nariz, nariz, perezoso, perezoso,
Try it out. Listen to En la Puerta del Cielo, a traditional poem from Puerto Rico. Then say the poem aloud.
En la puerta del cielo venden zapatos para los angelitos que andan descalzos.
Okay, hopefully you were willing to try to pronounce these words along. Remember the zeta is pronounced like, except in Spain, where it would be like a TH sound. Okay, let's talk a little bit about nonverbal language. Very common in Latino America to see somebody take their finger and point to their ojo, their eye. And what that means is they're telling you ojo, or you might see in writing the word ojo. Ojo means eye. What they're telling you is to be careful or watch out. So if somebody points to their eye or says the word ojo, they're telling you to be careful. Another thing is if you take your fingers and you rub together your forefingers against your thumb, especially if you're talking about, let's say, clothing, for example, that can mean cuesta muchísimo. It costs a lot of money. It's very expensive. It's pricey. So those are two nonverbal things that you can kind of say without using any words. Okay, excelente. Let's talk about these demonstrative adjectives. This word demonstrative means that you are showing. If I ask you to demonstrate, I'm asking you to show me, correct? So demonstrative adjectives are adjectives that show us something. In this case, they're showing us which item you're talking about. So if there's a suéter that's close to you and you want to say, I like this suéter, I'm going to say este. But if this vestido, if the dress is far away, it's that dress. So this versus that. This skirt, esta falda. That jacket, esa chaqueta. These sweaters, estos suéteres, as opposed to those dresses, esos vestidos. These skirts, estas faldas, versus those jackets, esas chaquetas. If you notice, the plural of this is these. These are the ones that are close to you. That, those is plural. These are the ones that are further away from you. There's a little rhyme you can remember. This and these have T's, that and those don't. I guess that doesn't, the second part doesn't really rhyme, but this and these have T's. So this and these need a T in our word. This and these, the ones that are close by, need a T. That and those doesn't need a T. Okay, so I want you to continue to write for this next activity. There's two pieces. I want you to circle the demonstrative adjective. Therefore, I would like you to copy the 6 sentences. You're going to circle the word from this chart, the word that's in red. And then I want you to decide, is it one of the ones that's close by? Write the letter C. Or is it one that's far away? Write the letter F. Close and far. Go ahead and press pause and start the video again once you're done with the 6 sentences. Okay, I want you to check your answers and I want you to keep track on your paper and fix any mistakes that you had. So you should have circled estos, which is close. Esas, which is far. Esta, which is close. Esa is far away. Esos, also far away. Estas is close. put a little note next to the activity to let me know how you did. Big smiley face, kind of a smiley face, frowny face. How did you do there? Okay, let's practice a little bit more. Let's practice with this activity B first. You don't need to copy down the whole sentence, but I would like you to select the correct word. Press pause, come back when you are done with activity B. You're only writing the correct word. So for number 1, you're either writing esto or you are writing estos, based on pantalones. Go ahead, press pause, come back when you're done. For number 1, you should have written estos. For number 2, esas. For number 3, esta. Número 4, estos. Número 5, ese. Número 6, este. Número 7, esas. Número 8, esos. Okay, for this last activity, again, I put a reminder up here of which words we're choosing from. Este, esta, estos, estas, or ese, esa, esos, esas. For the example, if it's close and they are calcetines, I'm going to use estos. Camisa, if it's farther away, I'm going to use esa. I would like you to go ahead and write down your answers to number 1 through 10. I'm going to ask you to press pause, and we are actually going to be checking this together when we meet for our clase en vivo. Press pause and then come back when you are finished. Okay, so we are going to move on to otra actividad. Keep writing on your paper. You might be on the back side by now. So we're going to write out a diálogo between you and your hermanito, your little brother. You are telling your brother that you would like him to wear this clothing, whatever this is that you have in your hand, and your little brother doesn't want to do that. So your little brother is going to say, I don't want to wear that, whatever it is you give him. I prefer this. So, based on number 1, this is a camisa. So my sentence to my brother would be, tienes que, you have to, tienes que llevar esta camisa azul, this blue shirt. I'm handing him a blue shirt. He's going to say, no, no quiero llevar esa camisa. I don't want to wear that shirt. I prefer that white one. He's pointing to another one. Esa camiseta blanca. So instead of the camisa azul, he is asking to wear the white one. Número 2. I would like you to write out the 2 sentences. The stuff in black is going to stay essentially the same. Obviously, the clothing item is different. Perhaps the color or pattern is different. And then you're going to be writing the dialogue. I want you to do the same thing for those pantalones, los calcetines, and los zapatos. Okay, so I want you to do your best to write out the conversation and then press pause, and as soon as you are done, press play and we will continue. Okay, to finish out today, I want to look at this escaparate. If this were a window, a shopping window outside of a store, and I were walking past and I would be looking at the different items in the store, I can notice that there are pantalones azules, pantalones grises, hay un vestido negro, un vestido rojo, 2 chaquetas, una camisa azul, 3 camisas aquí, tenis, botas, 3 gorras, gorra pequeña, gorra mediana, gorra grande. And this is me who's deciding what I want to point out in the escaparate. So we're going to use the expression aquí, me gusta. So if I am standing next to the red dress, that means it's close to me. I can say, me gusta este vestido. Me gusta este vestido. Now I also want to write a sentence about the other dress. That one's a little further away. So I'm going to say, me gusta ese vestido. Ese vestido. Take a look at los pantalones. What would I say about los pantalones? Remember that gusta, we're going to say me gustan. Me gustan esos pantalones grises because they're farther away. Me gustan estos pantalones azules. Okay. Now for the gorras, they're all far away. So it's going to be esa if it's one gorra, esas. Me gustan esas gorras. Notice los tenis. The green ones are close and the pink ones are far. Me gustan estos tenis verdes. Me gustan esos tenis rosados. All right, so I just want you to take a look at this escaparate. You will notice attached to this assignment that I have given you a blank slide or a slide that already has the background of this escaparate on it, because I want you to think about starting to build your own store window. Okay, so in the time between now and when we meet, I want you to start building your store that we could see maybe from the street when we peeked in the window. If you don't like this setup and you want to have your own arrangement in the escaparate, you are welcome to clear out the pieces of the slide. But I want you to start putting some objects in your slide. You're going to have at least 10 different objects, okay? And it does not have to be done before our clase en vivo, but if you have most of it done, that's going to be very helpful, okay? So you want to start to build your store window in the Google slide that I sent you, and you want to start adding some clothing items. You should have a variety of colors, a variety of different items. You can arrange them however you want, keeping in mind that some are going to be close to you wherever you put your person, and some of the items are going to be farther away. Okay, so go ahead and start building your store window between now and our clase en vivo. And when I see you during our clase en vivo, we will be practicando un poco más juntos. Muy bien, chicos? Okay, at this time I would also like you to upload your copy of your notes, and I would like to give you credit for the work that you have done in class today. So go ahead and with this assignment, go ahead and upload a copy of your notebook paper. Y nos vemos pronto en la clase en vivo.